This is Dominic from the Texas Criminal Justice Coalition. I'm going to be providing partial narration to a presentation that we gave at the 2007 Indigent Defense Workshop on October 18th of this year. The workshop was organized by the Texas Task Force on Indigent Defense. The task force asked us to talk about how public interest groups can be resources to counties who are working to improve their indigent defense systems. This presentation gave county officials a chance to better understand why we work to see that reforms to the criminal justice system move more swiftly. Andrea Marsh from the Texas Fair Defense Project really helped put a lot of this presentation together also, so she needs to be recognized in that. In this presentation, we spent a good deal of time discussing the work we conduct with the task force throughout the year. We attend most of the task force board meetings and the individual committee meetings. This has allowed us to develop a very comprehensive knowledge base about the activities of the task force and the advances Texas has made across the state. Following these meetings is really the only realistic way for groups like ours with limited resources to get a constant picture of what's occurring around the state. We serve on a team that conducts the initial reviews of discretionary grant applications for the task force. After reviewing the proposals, we make comments that the members of the task force can use when making decisions about the grants that they're going to fund. The grant review team is really a good example of the model that the task force usually uses to include as many stakeholders as possible in the different processes that they're moving forward. On the grant review team, for example, we work with representatives from the governor's office, we've worked with representatives from the state bar, and representatives from the Office of Court Administration. And the process is usually pretty straightforward. We get access to the proposals, we spend time reviewing and scoring the proposals, and then we provide comments, and this ought to flag areas that may need additional development. Since we started sitting on the grant review team, the task force has funded video teleconferencing systems, and they've also funded 4 new public defender offices. Now, Judge John Burrows from Belton County, he is a member of the task force, and he's going to speak about why it's important for the task force to use groups like ours in this grant review process.
I'm John Burrows. I'm the county judge here in Bell County, Texas. We certainly benefit from the expertise of others, especially those that can take the time and effort to do detailed evaluation of proposals, can make sure that it does seem feasible, to do the necessary due diligence to make sure that the people that are making the application are in fact able to proceed if we do approve it. And also, it gives us a broader perspective, from all areas of the criminal defense arena, so that while I might have expertise in one area, I may not know much about another part of it. And with that joint knowledge that all these people put together, they tend to come forward with an application that is feasible, timely, and that had a statewide application that we might not be able to do otherwise.
consulting services for new PD offices. Right now, Andrea Marsh from the Texas Fair Defense Project sits on the oversight board of the newly funded West Texas Public Defender for capital murder cases. We also participate in stakeholder working groups. As many of you know, the task force is charged with adopting regulations that govern indigent defense programs. Usually, to do this, they publish model procedures, and they're designed to help counties implement the Fair Defense Act. Now, much like the grant review team we described before, when writing these procedures, the task force brings together representatives from many different groups to see if there's consensus on the topic. The task force also convenes a working group to discuss legislative proposals that may come up during the legislative session. The summer of 2007 actually provided a really surprising example of someone who really regretted the decision to move forward without the representation of a defense lawyer.
This is live on C-SPAN.
Thank you all very much for coming out today. I will read a statement. In June, I overreacted and made a poor decision. While I was not involved in any inappropriate conduct at the Minneapolis airport or anywhere else, I chose to plead guilty to a lesser charge in hopes of making it go away. I did not seek any counsel, either from an attorney, staff, friends, or family. That was a mistake, and I deeply regret it.